Boots Ennis is still looking for an opponent for his second fight of 2026. He defeated Xander Zayas in a thriller, really. Yeah. And the front runner right now is Josh Kelly. Josh Kelly did have stitches. I would expect this to happen next, Max, before the end of the year, someplace in the U.S.
JD, you look like you were about to get a migraine when you heard this news. What's up?
Because I was waiting for the Virgil talk. There's so much Virgil Boots conversation back and forth. And this what you tell me? Are you sure? I know you're a great snitch. Are you sure?
I'm positive.
That's just some what? Now, this is y'all sport. I'm a fan. I love it. Tell me how the hell we keep having this. Two really good fighters about to fight. Oh, we don't fight. Shakur and Devin Haney about to fight. Oh, don't fight. I know. I love Josh. Josh got like a little brother. So what I'm saying is, but the hype up was Virgil and Boots.
What's going on with David Benavidez?
Vergil Ortiz, right? He hasn't fought now in a while. I think it was last November against Erickson Lubin. He had the legal issues with Golden Boy that have now since been resolved. I'm told he's looking at turning the second week of November, and he could be moving up to 160. And I'm told if he goes to 160, Max, he's staying at 160. We just talked about how bad of an idea it is, right? To go up and down. And
so wait, are you telling us now that Vergil Ortiz's next fight will be at middleweight?
I think it's more likely than not that yes, it will be at middleweight. And there's 4 names they're looking at: Jermell Charlo, Arizlandi Lara, Tim Tszyu, and Carlos Adames. They want a big-time fight, and they think the fights are at 160.
Vergil Ortiz Jr. is officially out, and Jaron Boots Ennis may already have his next challenge lined up. Ennis is now eyeing Josh Kelly, a matchup that could reveal how Boots handles a fighter who can match him technically and test more than just his offense.
It's not like he's wading forward. He's using his legs and everything. A lot of times the way to beat a guy who can box is with another boxer. So it's not that you're saying Josh Kelly you're expecting him to win, right, but you'd like to see how Boots matches up with a good boxer.
Yeah, respectfully to Josh, man, because I like Josh.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Josh Kelly's trainer Adam Booth has also made no secret that this is the fight he wants next for Kelly. In his eyes, Kelly has earned the right to test himself against the division's best, and there's no bigger stage to prove that than a clash with Boots Ennis.
I absolutely do. I want Josh to have the chance to prove just how good he is, and there is no one in the division that's a better challenge to do that than Boots Ennis, who is the most accomplished and proven champion in the division. Josh doesn't want touches, and I'm not in this sport to work with fighters that want the easy touches. I'm proud of him. I'm proud of how he's gone about his career, how he's overcome the hurdles, and now I look forward to that fight being made and Josh proving just how good he is.
According to Adam, Boots and his father understand exactly the kind of problems Kelly's skill set can create in the ring. It's less about proving people wrong from the outside, Boots suggests, and more about how each camp handles the task directly in front of them once the bell rings.
And I expect fully everyone not to give Josh a chance in this fight. But I also know that Boots and his dad are real ones. They know the sport and they know boxing. And as from what I was told, Boots' dad predicted Josh to beat Murtazaliev. So they will fully understand that Josh has skill sets that pose a problem. And that's really what matters, is the challenge that's in front of us with Boots and how he goes about the job, and Josh and how he does it.
Max weighed in on how this one could actually play out, and while he still tips Boots as the clear favorite, he's quick to note that favoritism doesn't erase the intrigue here. This is a different kind of test than the power-punching pressure fighters Ennis has faced lately. Kelly brings a technical, high-level style that could expose different questions altogether.
Some fighters are just better than others.
Right.
In the way, if we talk about the eye test, Boots' performances against what we just seen on Saturday, it just doesn't matter.
Yo, Boots is clubber langing the division
say,
right
Mike?
now. It's like, he ain't gonna kiss you, he's gonna kill you. Like
Mike.
the way Boots is so explosive. He's just different. Sorry, go ahead.
No. Mike,
I was gonna say though, Max, you mentioned the style. That's why I want to see the fight. Of course, I'm picking Boots, but I want to see the style, and that's the kind of style facing now that when you face somebody that has a style in the future that's maybe doing it at a better level, you can believe in that experience.
You know why that's interesting? I think that's right.
Malik Scott sees little reason to treat the matchup as an even fight, with Boots Ennis' recent performances suggesting he has already separated himself from the pack. His relentless pressure could make the difference. While the discussion ultimately frames this fight as a stylistic test of whether Ennis can maintain that dominance against a demanding opponent.
He's in his prime. I do not think that there is a junior middleweight in the world who has the same kind of special qualities that he has, and therefore I'm picking him.
I think any boxer,
any junior middleweight.
I think he's more special than any boxer.
You're right. He's special, and what do we like more in boxing than combination punching? And he does it. He's flashy.
Does he?
But that's not the question.
He don't sit on his lead.
I think he's the most special boxer out, right? Because he got power, he can box, do everything. But what I'm saying is, when you watch Fundora, like, how do you beat Fundora?
Picking up on the defense question, Simon Jordan didn't shy away from pointing out cracks in Boots Ennis's recent performances, noting his tendency to leave himself open to clean shots landing. He broke down how that level of defense could specifically be exploited by a fighter possessing Kelly's particular blend of skills and timing.
Do you like this fight for Josh? I was fortunate enough to be in New York to see the Zayas Boots Ennis fight. And I saw some of the vulnerabilities, very small vulnerabilities in Boots Ennis, certainly in the third round. But other than that, you know, he dealt with Zayas in what was a great fight. Do you like this fight for him?
I love this fight. I love this fight. I actually saw it live also. I was in New York, I was ringside, and I saw everything. I think Josh Kelly has everything he needs to compete with somebody of Boots' level. But
building on that point, Richard Reactpour suggested Josh Kelly's natural reflexes, speed, and sharp movement could genuinely make him a nightmare matchup for Ennis. He stressed that Kelly's knack for finding a home for his shots against leaky or lazy defense is exactly what makes this potential unification fight so compelling to watch.
What was kind of interesting to me is seeing Zayas kind of land them shots, and you see how much trouble he was in. And it just shows, you know, everybody's vulnerable in this game. You know, nobody's like invincible, untouchable. I think I definitely would love to see that fight. I think that would be amazing, and I think he would do way better than Zayas as well. That's my honest opinion.
Paul Smith also weighed in and pointed cracks in Boots' defense, questioning whether he's too easy to hit and more hittable than his record suggests. And that's exactly where Kelly's game becomes dangerous. His speed, sharp reflexes, and knack for capitalizing on defensive lapses could make any opening a costly one.
Boots, in that fight, he's very susceptible to being caught. He leaves himself open a bit too much, and I think he's a bit too easy to hit for someone of his level, if you get what I'm trying to say with that. Like, he should be a bit tighter than what he is. He's vulnerable, he's definitely vulnerable. Josh Kelly can be a nightmare for people with leaky defense or sloppy defense or laziness in them, and he'll definitely find a home for the shots that he throws. He's fast, sharp, obviously fights on his reflexes, like very, very good natural ability. And it's an unbelievable fight.
Furthermore, Timothy Bradley broke down why this fight is trickier than it looks on paper. Kelly may not carry the same name recognition as some past opponents, but his speed, reflexes, and constant movement make him a genuine handful, forcing Boots to burn energy chasing him around the ring instead of dictating range on his own terms.
But another guy that they're talking about Boots facing is Josh Kelly. I think Josh Kelly's a little bit more difficult fight, believe it or not, than Vergil Ortiz. Styles make fights. Josh Kelly don't look like much, but he's quick. He got good reflexes. He got some pop on his shots. He's very deceiving. And he got legs. And he gonna move around all night, and Boots gonna have to chase. He gonna have to chase. And he gonna have to chase. And you know,
that elusiveness, Bradley explained, cuts right at what makes Boots so lethal. Ennis thrives against fighters who plant their feet and trade in front of him, where his punches and combinations do the most damage. Kelly's slippery but mobile approach threatens to take that rhythm away entirely.
Boots don't really like to chase. You can hear it when they talking. Well, if he's standing right there in front of me, it's gonna be night, you know, it's not gonna be a short night. They like guys that stand in front of them. Vergil Ortiz, yeah, they like guys that stand in front of them. That's what they like. But I think the fight's gonna be a little bit more challenging just because of that aspect. I think Boots will eventually catch up with him, cut him off, hurt him with a big shot, because, you know, Josh Kelly isn't the most...
Even so, Bradley's money is still on Ennis getting the job done. He believes sustained pressure will eventually corner Kelly and expose the cracks in his defense, forcing him into exchanges where Ennis can capitalize. The key, however, is patience, as Bradley expects Kelly's movement to make this a longer and more demanding fight than Boots is used to.
What do you say? His defense, even though he's very elusive, Boots throwing combinations, something eventually gonna crack it, gonna crack that defense. You know, especially when guys that they just like to use the head movement and be, you know, elusive and agile. You can let those punches fly, man, and something eventually is gonna get in there on the guy. And as long as Boots is pressing forward, cutting off the ring, right, prepare himself for boxers, he should have no problem beating Josh Kelly. However, like I said, it's gonna be a little bit more time for him to be able to get to him, judging by, you know, what I know about Boots Ennis.
Paulie Malignaggi laid out why this matchup makes sense from a business standpoint. With both Ennis and IBF junior middleweight champion Josh Kelly signed to Matchroom, it's the easiest fight to organize. Kelly also enters with real momentum, having picked up a notable upset win recently that's boosted his profile within the division significantly.
I think in the meantime, the easiest fight to probably make is the Josh Kelly fight. You know, Josh Kelly's the IBF junior middleweight champion. He's also signed to Matchroom, as is Jaron Ennis. Josh Kelly was at one time looked at as a budding superstar, good-looking kid, an Olympic medalist. But as a pro, he just wasn't panning out at all. And it looked like he was going to be a complete bust. And then out of nowhere, he came up and he upset what's his name for the IBF title in his last fight. Was the other man at 154 pounds. Josh Kelly did. Forgetting these names. All these too many Eastern Europeans here.
Beyond logistics, Malignaggi framed this as a genuine title opportunity for Ennis. Kelly has had inconsistent stretches throughout his career, but at his very best, Paulie insists he remains a live threat fully capable of causing real problems for any elite fighter standing across from him. That makes the matchup far more meaningful than a routine title defense.
So I think the Ennis fight is an easy one to make. Kelly's in his 30s. Ennis is close to 30, if not 30, right? It's a chance to grab another world title for Ennis. One in unification. And listen, Kelly, for all the not having lived up to the expectation that he's done, listen, if Kelly can be as special as he was predicted to be for one night, listen, you never know what happens in that fight. Obviously, Ennis has been special every single time he's out there in fights. There's no inconsistency to Ennis, unlike Kelly. But
looking ahead, Malignaggi argued Ennis should prioritize this unification bout over chasing bigger names like Sebastian Fundora right now. For a rising star still building his resume, stacking consistent, impressive performances matters more at this stage than jumping straight to the flashiest available matchup on paper. Establishing that consistency, Paulie believes, would strengthen Ennis's position before even bigger challenges.
What has to be next to Jaron Ennis, I think, is Josh Kelly. It's the easiest fight to make. There's not a lot of complications in making that fight. You make that fight, and then from there you go into the Fundora fight. You know, depending on how Ennis does and looks against Kelly. Because again, Ennis looks terrific every time he's fought, and so that's why he is this budding star. But when you are a budding star, there's also so much expectation for you to look good every single time out. So we'd have to make sure that Ennis stays consistently looking really great so that he can move on into the picture with Fundora, possibly. And Fundora, of course, is a very difficult guy to deal with. Listen, Fundora is going to be difficult to deal with for anybody.
And for Greg Hackett, patience is the name of the game here. Boots can't afford to rush in against Kelly. Unlike previous opponents willing to stand and trade, Kelly relies heavily on movement, meaning Ennis needs to resist forcing engagement early. The goal is to gradually limit Kelly's options before pressing the attack.
Yeah, we presents this. We know that he has hand speed. We know that he got quick feet, and you know he going to try to make the fight tough for you. He's not the biggest puncher, but he can hit a little bit. And you know, with a guy like Josh Kelly, you just got to be patient. You can't be eager to get to him because you know he going to make sure he do whatever to get up out of there, like he did with Bakram. Gave Bakram some trouble.
Digging deeper into the matchup, Hackett pointed out that Boots operates on an entirely different level than Bakram Murtazaliev, one of Kelly's last opponents. While Kelly managed to give Bakram trouble, Hackett cautioned that Ennis brings far more dangerous tools to the table: speed with real power, and the ability to switch stances and attack from unpredictable angles.
Boots isn't Bakram, so you know it's going to be a different type of fight. But yeah, those are the things you got to watch out for. You can't just go in there and think you're going to just punch a man in his head and he ain't going to do nothing about it. No, Josh Kelly is going to be quick on his feet, and especially fighting Boots, that's going to probably be the quickest we ever seen him. He's going to be quick on his feet, hands going to be fast, and he's going to be trying to get in and get out. You know what I mean? So you got to be good and patient and be ready to go to that body. You know what I mean?
If you're Boots, how do you approach this fight?
with a guy that you know. Patience, because he not really trying to get in a shootout.
When it comes to breaking Kelly down, Hackett suggested Boots target the body, working the belt line and shoulders to gradually wear him out over the rounds. He stressed that Ennis can't go hunting for one big knockout punch. Instead, he needs to become a patient predator, methodically dismantling Kelly's crafty, elusive style piece by piece.
Who, Josh Kelly?
Yeah, it's because we seen Bachram was a little impatient.
Yeah, he one of them guys. Yeah, he one of them guys you gotta take your time pacing, punch him on his belt line, punch him on his shoulders. You got to make him hurt. You know what I mean? Because you got to make him slow down. And you know, you got to be patient. You can't look for a home run with Josh Kelly right away. You can't do that. You got to just wear him out real good. You know what I mean?
I'm on record, G, saying that I feel like Josh was going to be the hardest fight in the division.
Yeah.
Because you got to go find him.
Yeah.
And it's going to take time to go find him because Josh he's quick.
Yeah.
Breaking down his perspective, Sergio Mora admitted he's intrigued by the unification possibilities, but he also questioned whether Kelly is truly ready for the level of challenge Ennis represents. The matchup offers Kelly a major opportunity, yet Mora sees a significant difference in experience and overall ability. That uncertainty makes the potential unification raising legitimate questions for Kelly.
So he's still a champion. A Boots Ennis fight would be a unification fight. But Sergio, I didn't walk away from, Kelly Ajarko really excited about the possibility of seeing Boots against Kelly. What do you think?
Remember I told you Ajarko was going to be a headache with Josh Kelly? I saw a good fighter when I studied him. I still thought Josh Kelly would be, good enough to outbox him, and he did in a tougher fight than expected. So this is back-to-back close fights for Josh Kelly.
From there, the conversation turned toward weighing this fight against other options on the table for Boots. The hosts broke down both the risk and reward of throwing Kelly in with a puncher as dangerous as Ennis, debating whether the matchup truly serves either fighter's career trajectory right now.
He better sell that belt. I keep saying sell that belt, right? But you earned that belt. You're an Olympian, you became a world champion, your career is a success. Now it's time to make a lot of money with that belt. It just so happens you got to sell it. You got to put it up to bid to the highest bidder, whether it's going to be Fundora, it's going to be Boots, it's going to be Vergil Ortiz, whoever it's going to be. Those three guys will beat you on any given day. So if I were him, yes, I would go straight to Boots, because Boots is vulnerable. You can hit him in between shots, and that's the thing about Josh Kelly. He'll change with you because he has guts himself. He could take a shot, he punches with you.
Attention then shifted to a more immediate concern, the cut sustained on Josh Kelly's nose. The hosts questioned whether the injury would allow enough time for a full recovery, especially with a potential fight against Boots later this year. Until Kelly is back in training, the injury creates another layer of uncertainty around whether this unification can realistically happen.
I do think that the cut on Kelly's nose is bad. And I'm not a doctor, but it strikes me that
it's in a good place. It's fine. The cut on the nose is fine. If it would have been in the eye, no, I get it, but it's in the nose. It's fine. That heals up. If it was on the lids of the eyes, that's different. Cuts on the bridge of the nose, you're fine there.
I'm just saying healing time. Like, I'm more talking about the timing of it. Like, Boots wants to fight November, December. I don't know after a cut like that Josh Kelly will be ready to go in that time frame, which opens up maybe some other possibilities then.
However, Robert Garcia didn't hold back his criticism of this potential matchup, arguing that Team Boots would essentially be taking advantage of Josh Kelly given his current nose injury. He suggested Kelly might still say yes to the fight purely for a career-high payday, but Garcia questioned whether pushing forward now is truly fair given Kelly's compromised physical state.
If you want to fight Kelly right now, you're taking advantage of a man that has look, there's Virgil. You want to take advantage of a man that has a big injury in his nose. That cut is huge. So there's no way they could say, oh, he'll be ready for November. He'll be ready. No. If they want to do it, they'll make it happen, because Kelly's also going to say, well, it's the biggest fight of my career, the biggest payday. Kelly knows he's not the best in the division. He could lose to anybody else.
Ade broke down the potential matchup as well, pointing to Boots as a fresh fighter armed with blazing hand and foot speed. He contrasted that with Kelly's style, noting that while Kelly absolutely belongs among the world's elite, stepping in with someone as complete as Ennis presents an entirely different tactical puzzle, demanding sharper reactions, greater discipline, and adjustments throughout the fight.
I don't know if Josh Kelly can get him to Sunderland. I don't know if that's possible, but that will be his best bet of a victory. That's a whole different fight though. Now you're fighting someone that has fast feet as well and fast hands and is fresh and doesn't look dead at the weight. I mean, Bakram looked awful at the weight. And I do wonder about the IBF rehydration cap. Maybe that was an issue because he looked, I mean, gee, there's nothing of him. I mean, again, this guy was a 160 fighter, but he came in really light 152, which clearly was a mistake. And I just feel like he looked really flat. But that's not to take anything from Josh Kelly, who looked really, really good.
As talks continue to develop, one thing's clear: with continued match bevolvings as cease, this potential unification clash is shaping up to be one of the most intriguing tests of Boots Ennis' career. Stick around, because the road to this fight is only just getting started, and we'll be here to break down every twist as it happens. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a beat on this fast-moving Ennis-Kelly saga.